Namaste, Soul Circle.
My name is Stephen Michael James. I've done a lot of different modalities so far in my life, and I love integrating them all into medicine that helps serve people get to their highest good.
I'm Candice. I've always felt the pull towards the metaphysicals and the energies of the people around me. Through my journey of self-growth and self-love, I came to understand that I'm actually an empath and a healer by nature.
I'm a certified Reiki master, a spiritual life path coach. I'm also a master crystal healer too.
Integrating my experiences as a support worker, a mother, a woman of color, and with my degree in behavioral sciences.
I was a hereditary practitioner. My grandmother was a wise woman.
I'm able to dig deeper into my spirituality with a variety of modalities that align with both Western ideals of healing and holistic principles.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I'm super excited and I'm ready.
I am ready, and we can't wait to meet you.
Namaste, Soul Circle.
Namaste, Soul Circle.
It is.
I'm Candice.
I'm Stephen.
What are we doing? And we're from Arcana, Mind, Body, Spirit, here in Toronto, Canada.
And we are so excited for tonight. It is a super flower full blood moon eclipse in Sagittarius. Oh my goodness, that is a whole lot of energy out there. Candice, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling a lot of things today. It's been an interesting day. It's been an emotional day. It's been a roller coaster day, and now I'm here with all of you.
Well, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you're here because I can't imagine my full moons without you, darling.
And nor I without you. So here we are.
Here we are. What we're going to do to get started is an Arcana tradition, friends. All right, if you've been here for a full moon, you know what we're talking about. So what I'm going to get us to do is take a deep breath, and on 3, we're going to howl at the moon. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, nothing like that howl gets that energy moving, doesn't it? All right, so this is our...
Sorry, what was that? You're a little...
Oh, that's okay, it happens. So, as you can see, we are live. Anything can happen at any time. So, if this is your first time joining us with Arcana, we want to welcome you. Arcana started as a YouTube channel, believe it or not, and now we are going live. We have a lot of services available. And you can actually check out a bunch of those services by going to our website at www.arcanamindbodyspirit.com. And of course, you may be watching this currently on YouTube. If you're not, please head over to YouTube and hit that like and subscribe button below. We've had such great content. What are some of the things we covered this month, Candice?
We were focusing on goddesses, the moon, and all the signs. So we did, so far we've done our water moon signs and our fire moon signs. We also did basically everything moon.
Yeah, it was such a month of moon work. So we're going to dive into all kinds of different things about the moon tonight, which is going to be exciting for everyone, especially if it's your first time. Arcana's mission statement is to provide an inclusive community for self-discovery using holistic and metaphysical principles. So if this is your first time here and that sounds yummy and delicious to you, please hit that like and just subscribe and that notification bell, because this is the type of work we do. And one of the best parts about Arcana is we're doing the work alongside you. So this evening, we're going to be doing a lot of different things. First of all, we're going to be talking about all the different energies that we have going on right now, which, as I'm sure most of you can tell, is a lot of energy in the field. After that, we're going to dive into doing a little bit of work around our flower moon, and we'll be talking about what that means. And I'll give you a little sneak preview here. Our setup is all right here for our flower ceremony, and then we're going to finish with a little bit of tarot. So there's going to be all kinds of stuff tonight. We're really excited. And Candice is actually going to be making a sigil for us this evening based around the different energies that we're talking about. And I'm really pumped for that. Yeah, so I guess it's time to dive in. Why don't we talk about what a full moon is?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we do during a full moon. So here we find ourselves once again in our full moon ritual. Every month we get to focus in on our goals or what we need to release that no longer serve us. So on full moons, Stephen and myself, we focus on our energy that we want to release, things that we want to let go of, what's holding us back, holding us down, or even just clouding the way towards our manifestation. So like whatever's like, making it foggy or just getting in the way of just that clear visual. I know sometimes, and I felt it today, just being able to truly see what I want to manifest. So there's different ways that you can go about that during the full moon. You can take a bath. You can howl at the moon, as we always do. Maybe something else, like an interesting thing that kind of came to my mind today would be like writing down what you want to release, what you need to let go of, filling a cup or a bowl of water, and then taking that piece of paper that you wrote it down on, ripping it up bit by bit, and just releasing it into the water. And then once that's done, taking a moment to think and meditate on that before you pour it away, send it back into the cycle of life, releasing it with love for all that it has actually given you, the lessons it's given you, the realizations that it's given you, and overall the growth that it's given you. You can do something simple if you're really busy or just don't have the time to or privacy even to do that. You can go to the bathroom, lock the door, look at yourself in the mirror, say whatever it is that you are trying to release, have a cry or not, and then just wash your hands, wash your face, and then just wash all that stuff you're trying to release down the drain. There's a lot of different ways you can do this with tools or without tools. It's about you. It could be just you. You can turn on a meditation, go outside in whatever capacity you can, and just release. Look out into the open space. Again, we're in an urban city. It's my space is when I look out, I see a lot of other things besides nature and stuff, but look up and release and let go and make space for all that you truly want and that you need and that you ultimately deserve as well. Releasing is also an opportunity to celebrate what you've achieved during the waxing phase, which brought us to this full moon phase. So cut yourself some slack. Literally, cut the slack.
Cut the slack.
So that's a little bit of, cut the slack. So that's more or less some of the different energies and ritual or practices that you could do during this time to really help you harness in on releasing. And again, being able to focus. Ultimately, what you're trying to do is be able to focus on what you want. So I'm doing all of these things, not all of these things, but in whatever suits you, whatever feels right, so that you can get moving and you can see that goal and you have space in your heart and your mind to accept the things that you want. Because if you don't have space for them, they kind of miss you, or they're here and they feel out of reach, and that can be frustrating in and of itself. So it's really great that we have every month to do this, so that we can really create that space to just have all the things we could ever want for ourselves in this life, right? So
I love that. I absolutely agree with that.
exactly.
Full moon is like one of the best times of the month because it is usually the culmination of everything that you've been trying to work towards. And now from here on out, it's more about self-care. It's about figuring out what's going to be your next goal. It's about relaxing into it and doing healing, releasing. And I love all of this stuff you're talking about like the bath and the water and releasing it. It's so good. Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah. Speaking of wants and needs, this is live. This is my life. You're in my home. And my child has some needs that clearly need tending to. So I'm going to be right back, Stephen. I'm going to let you talk to everyone about a couple other things. And I'm going to jump right back because I've got some stuff I want to say about Sagittarius energy. So I'm going to let you take this one and I'm going to be right back.
Got it. All right, everyone. So we are going to move on to astrology. So right now there is a few things happening in the sky when it comes to astrology, which is a little bit challenging. Right now we have Mercury and Venus and Neptune all in a clash. Now, if you study any astrology or astronomy, Mercury is a lot about your communication and how you communicate with other people and your connection with them. And Venus is all about it's love and it's divine feminine and it's all that energy. And when those two hit a clash, it can be actually very emotional and difficult. So you may feel that in the field right now, there's a lot of difficult feelings. But also supercharged feelings because of the supermoon and the Sagittarius, which we'll get to in just a little bit. So depending on what your personal natal chart says, this could be actually a very easy or a very challenging time for you. If you're a fire sign, then, or have a lot of fire in your chart, Sagittarius is a fire sign. So you might find yourself very empowered today. It might feel very easy for you to go, go, go. But a lot of people in this world right now are in situations where they can't go, go, go. They're in situations where everything is still a little bit closed down or they can't do some of the things that they would like to do. So that could be very emotional and challenging as well. On the other side of the coin, if you are a water sign, I want you to imagine what it would be like during all of this fire energy and you have a lot of water in your chart. It would actually be very difficult. And like I said, Neptune is also clashing with Mercury and Venus. So right there you have that polarity and Neptune is muddying up all the waters for us. So take a deep breath. The energy does subside. Within about 3 or 4 days, Venus and Mercury are going to sort themselves out and then that's going to be fine. But then again, Mercury is going to move into retrograde for only about 3 weeks' time. Okay? Now, before we move on, I want to talk a little bit about what retrograde is. Retrograde has such a nasty stigma about how it's a horrible time, especially when Mercury gets involved. All retrograde means is that things are spinning backwards. And usually what that means is instead of sending your energy outward, it is time to send it inward. And it is time to look at yourself. And I want you to think of the prefix of retrograde. We have re. And I want you to use that re in all forms of your life. Renew. Think about redefining, redoing, reviewing. Take all of that re-energy and put it on yourself over the course of the next 3 weeks and see what happens. Okay? There's also going to be all kinds of different energies happening, and I want to talk about that because, like I said, it is a super flower full blood moon eclipse. Lordy. All right, let's start at the top. The first two easy things to say here are the super and the blood. Okay, so a supermoon just means it is supercharged. Astronomically, all it means is that the orbit of the moon is closer, it's in the closest possible position to the Earth that it can be. All right, that means that the moon appears bigger in the sky. And when the moon is closer to us, it supercharges everything on the planet. If you could watch some of our videos that took place at the beginning of May, we were talking about how having the moon close to the Earth changes how plants grow, how the water flows in the sea, how the lunacy, we were laughing about how it affects us on a primal level. All of this is supercharged during a supermoon. Okay, now what's blood moon mean? Blood. Okay, so blood moon actually just means that I want you to imagine that what an eclipse is when The Earth is blocking out the light from the sun on the moon. Okay? Now, depending on where the Earth is, it can block out only partial colors. Okay, so if you imagine that, the color wheel, if you break a ray of light with a prism, there's all different colors. The color that gets taken out first is all the blue colors because it's a very short wavelength. So what's left is all the red colors of the color wheel all over the moon. Okay, so what that means is we have a very fiery, supercharged, a lot of the blue is more like the watery energies, right? We don't have any of that. We just have hyper emotion. Okay, so that's why we call it a blood moon, because of the color and because it gets our blood boiling. Okay, next, let's talk about eclipses. Okay, now, even between Candice and I, we may have different practices that we believe when it comes to eclipses, because eclipses are very polarized based on what your spiritual belief system is, okay? So generally, if you were to Google what to do on an eclipse, usually what happens is all New Age practitioners will say, hide your crystals, don't charge them, no moon water, bad juju out there. This is all kind of the rhetoric you hear. But if you look back at ancient tradition, especially like Mesoamerican and indigenous traditions, an eclipse was just the marriage of the sun, father, sun, and mother moon. And it was when they would marry. And generally what it meant was we were in darkness and we were finding ourselves in the deepest depths of ourselves, what is in our own darkness. And as we watch the sun or moon be rebuilt in the sky, we are renewing ourselves. So it's a lot of that phoenix energy. So in your own personal practice, what we'd like to encourage you to do is think about what energies are in the sky right now. Think about what is happening with you. If you want to charge a crystal with the type of energy that is taking place right now, do you want to have that phoenix energy, that fire energy? Or are you working more on healing? Do you want more flow in life? So maybe you won't charge. So think about it on a more personal level. What does it mean? And then you're going to have much more correspondence with the energy that's taking place. And again, a lot of that could actually have to do with what your natal chart says. How much earth is in your chart? How much water is in your chart? How much fire is in your chart? And if you've never done that before, Arcana actually does natal chart discovery journeys, which you can get on our website again. Candice and I work together and we get your chart all laid out for you, and we get to discover all the amazing things that are held down deep in you. All right? So before I move off eclipse here, I just want to say I like to think of eclipses as a time for a sacred reset. So what is hiding in your darkness? What is in there? What is holding you back? What holds you down? And as you get reborn into the light, why are you going to carry it with you? Or do you want to let it go? Full moons are time for release. It might be time to let go and shed old habits. Candice, is there anything that you'd like to add to that about eclipses, or what are your thoughts on eclipses?
Yeah, no, I think that was a lot of great information I just gave everybody. Just to speak from a personal place right now, I'm definitely feeling all of the energies. I think that there would be some specific crystals that I might choose to charge right now, just based on my personal goals and the things that I'm working on. Again, just to help move out the things that I'm really needing to release. And I definitely feel like today was a day of all of the shadow stuff and all of the things that were not illuminated within myself were on the surface today, came out to play, came out to see if they have any relevance still in my space, in my everyday. And I really had to, today was definitely a test of all the tools that I have gained and worked on over the last few years. Today was a test to see if I actually put those things to use. And And I did, but I also had a hard time. And I think you were mentioning before, talking about like being a fire sign in this kind of trapped in this kind of like quarantine, stagnant vibe.
Yeah.
And like wanting to have that like fiery freedom and change and like the things, right? Like to have like the spark energy and like not being able to do it. And then also having the two other, like my moon and my rising be water. Today was a lot. Today became a lot. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty rattled from this day, to be honest. And yeah, I everything that you said, I definitely am right there and feeling all of the things.
You're deep in the throat, all of the feelings.
Absolutely. So may I rise like that phoenix from the ashes. Praise Goddess. I hope so. I wake up tomorrow.
Love it. Oh. All right, why don't we move on and talk about the energies of Sagittarius?
All right, okay. So Sagittarius, my fellow fire. I love me a Sag. I've had some of the closest people in my life growing up, particularly that are all Sagittarius people. If you're out there, if you're seeing this, I love you. You know who you are, and you are forever important to me. So Sagittarius energy, it's fiery, it's playful, it's also impatient. But it's also really optimistic. Like I feel that Sagittarius people can be some of the happiest people in the zodiac. And like in Aries, they can be brutally honest. So maybe not honest, yes, but they say anything. They will say anything. They'll say how it is. They're going to tell you what's up. This Sagittarius energy is about freedom. It's about gaining knowledge. So when you're thinking about that vibe in this full moon in Sagittarius, we want to turn towards releasing what binds us from being free and really feeling those characteristics of a Sagittarius. You want to take this opportunity to tie up loose ends, close the door on repeating maladaptive behaviors and patterns. And again, like some of the things I was doing today, look to your shadows and philosophically look towards your personal and outward ways that you've been functioning. You want to take this opportunity to really make some space to be free, step into it and embrace change and feel that like boundless Sagittarius enthusiasm. They don't see the gates and the borders and the things. They just see they see the bigger vision and they go for it. And that enthusiasm, that joy. So don't forget to laugh and just make that space and take that space, because that is definitely a Sagittarius energy.
I love it. And
so
what's really fantastic
I was gonna
about these full moons is that energy is available to everyone, even if you're not a Sagittarius. This is the energy of the entire full moon. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think it's a really great time, and with everything that you were saying before of what like an eclipse and everything, like I feel like this is like a perfect opportunity to just really feel that expansion in your manifestations and the things that you want and your goals, and just giving space to those feelings and those thoughts. Like this is the time to do it. This is such a great, like all of the things are coming together for that. So just to let everything out and then just keep expanding and just keep being big and keep moving and keep seeing and looking and trying to find that information and like, but have fun while you're doing it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like super serious, or it's not like heavy and like dreamy and like a Pisces like vibe. This is like fire and spark and just go for it. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like fire in the wind. You know what I mean? Like just
see where it takes you, Yeah.
Yeah, I really agree. I love that the whole energy of Sagittarius. And as a Gemini, we are in Gemini season, and Sagittarius and Gemini are on opposite sides of the wheel. And generally, the energies that are on opposite sides of the wheel are very similar, but in different ways. So it's really interesting as a Gemini to feel all of this energy that's Sagittarian, because it's very similar, and I love that. As we just moved from Taurus, which was much more practical, much more like home, much more almost material, very like earthed sign. Now we're moving into the third house, into Gemini, where it's all about taking that home and that insular, and we're blowing it open and expanding. And we're encouraged during this season to be a little bit more extroverted, to feel those different parts of ourselves that maybe we were grounding and let's say in the first house, when we were in Aries, we were discovering about ourselves, and then we were grounding and earthing it in our home. Now it's time to blow open those doors and expand. And Sagittarius is great for that. They aim that bow with precision. They know where they're going, and they get there. The accuracy of what they're doing. So during this full moon, take that Sagittarian energy and pull it into yourself. Absolutely. Is there anything you want to add about the astrology between Taurus and Gemini before we move on, or is it time to move on?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, clear the fog and aim your bow and go. I think also too, I think that's why maybe another reason I was just really feeling this, this rattle in my existence, is like that earthy, place. I do have a lot of earth sign in my chart, but going into from Aries and all the sparks, and I had all these ideas, and then it got so just practical, and I had all these laid plans, and anything that didn't work out was very rattling to me. And I feel like today it was just nope, that's not gonna work. But I had to spend all of the Taurus time doing this. And then today was that's nice. So here's a lesson for you today. That's not going to work. So you're going to have to let that go and put that in your water bowl and send it down the river, because today was a shake. It was a shake up. So it felt very drastic to me. Definitely felt it. But I love a Sagittarius. And as much as a rattle as that was, I know that I always work better personally with that. So, the more that I'm thinking about it, and as we talk about these things and I'm reminding myself of all these energies, I will wake up tomorrow the Phoenix. I'm pretty sure.
You will.
Sounds about right. Yeah. I work better with a shake. You know what I mean? I need I like to take it like a punch in the gut, and then I'm just let's go. I don't like a slow moving. I don't want that.
No.
It's my Aries. I can't do the slow vibes. And so this is how I get my messages with a day like today. With this eclipse, with a moon with 100 names. This is how I get my.
That's how it gets through to your head. It goes right to, that's the ram right there.
The bow right through me. Exactly.
All right. So again, 1,000 different names. We have one more name to talk about, and it's that name in which we are going to do a little ritual together all tonight, and that is the flower moon section. Now, if you're watching our videos in May, Candice and I were just talking about what the energies of the flower moon are about, and there's so much. We've designed an evening based around that flower energy. All right, so I'm going to turn things over to our table here. I'm going to make sure that...
And I also want to mention as an incentive for those who want to check out our moon video is you got to see my flower moon.
Oh, we do get to see your flower moon, don't we? I love it.
You already forgot.
I absolutely forgot, to be honest, but I absolutely loved that part of you. I loved seeing the moon. I loved seeing
Wow,
All right, so we are all up here on the screen together. So as you can see, we have a lot of different things set up on our table here. We're going to work with this side of the table here. And I want to talk about what a flower moon is. So of course it originally got its name based on flowers. Flowers start happening in May. But it's very easy to be very glib about that and easygoing. I want you to actually think about all of the effort that it takes to grow a flower. The strength that it takes from a seed to take you all the way up into the blooming of, let's say, the high part of a flower. So for tonight's ceremony that we have set up here, I'm actually going to be working with some of the guides that come along with aloha, okay, a very Hawaiian tradition. I'm working with a frangipani tree. This is one of the leaves that we have here. And you can see that I have them set up here around in different glasses. Now, if you're not familiar with aloha, aloha is a greeting and a goodbye that they use in Hawaii and some of the Polynesian. And it really is a collection of feelings and emotions. It's love, compassion, peace, affection, and mercy. And all of these things wrapped up into saying hello and goodbye to someone. I think it's such a beautiful testament to meeting someone and honoring who they are and where they are. So around our circle here, I have set up 8 different glasses, and each of them are representing the hard work that we have done this cycle so far. So each one represents one of the Sabbaths that we've had over the course of the wheel of the year. So we have Samhain, we have Yule, we have Imbolc, then Ostara, onto Beltane, then we have Litha, Lunasa, Mabon, and back to Samhain. So we have everything representing that cycle, which is really what flowers and plant teachers teach us, that everything is a cycle. When emotions are running hot and hard, you can break that cycle. You know that there's going to be an end to that cycle. There's always that rebirth energy that flowers remind us. And that's what we are working with tonight. In the middle here, we have a honey pot. Candice and I all month have been working with our honey pot. If you've never done any honey pot work before, the reason why we use honey is because honey preserves. It sticks. It makes whatever energies and intentions that you're working with stay forever. So inside of this pot, we have been putting things with our loved ones all month, and I'm going to be sealing it up tonight after all of these energies of the eclipse. And already some of the stuff that have taken place from this have been extremely, extremely prosperous and magical for both Candice and I over the course of this month. So we are going to encourage you that as I'm putting these different leaves from our frangipani, which are the leis that we wear in Hawaii, as we put them in here, I want you to picture all of the intentions that you would like and do this along with us here. Candice, is there anything that you'd like to add there?
No, I think that's great. I've been loving the honey pot work. I actually had a small one that I did last time. I think I was doing it. Was it for our new moon? I believe I did it for.
Yeah.
Anyways, I planted a jasmine tree over my honey pot. So may it take all the roots and bloom even more beautiful scents and beautiful flowers.
I love that. That's what I would like. All right, so we're going to invite you to settle your energy in here. We're going to relax. We're going to open just a small circle because we are doing a little bit of ceremony here. And then as we are filling the honey pot together, Candice is going to be making a sigil based around these different energies that we have, and she's going to show it to us at the end of it. Okay? So if you have different ways that you like to clear energy, if you like to smudge using either sage, or I actually have a leaf from a frangipani tree, which we brush the energy off. It feels super good if you've never done it before. If you just grab a nice leaf or branch, it's one of the best things you can do to help clear your energy and get in flow. Sitting up nice and tall, making sure your energy is in space. Opening our circle. Making sure our energy stays grounded. We're calling in our guides who blow. Guides who glow. Our guides who flow. And our guides who grow. Guardians from above and ancestors below. Strength within. And on we go. All right. Now that our space is set, as we put things into our honeypot here, I encourage you guys to write down, maybe journal your intentions. I'm putting whatever you are thinking about into our honeypot as well. Again, we're doing the work alongside you. All right, Candice, I have one flower specifically here for you. What are you putting in your honeypot?
I am putting in living my life's purpose every single day.
I love that for you. That seems very Sagittarian, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Stephen? What are you putting in the honeypot tonight?
Living my life's purpose every single day. I think that is a good mantra for where we are at right now.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. I think so too.
I love, after working with honeypot, how your hands are all sticky. I love it.
Sticky with the magic.
Absolutely. How's your sigil work coming along?
It's going good. Just putting a little bit of some focused energy into that.
One of the other things that we do every single full moon, I'm going to take a moment and do now, is we anoint our candle. If you've been joining us for all of our full moon and new moon ceremonies, on each one of our ceremonies, on our candle, we end up carving the sign of the energy that is taking place. You can see there's Pisces, we have Leo there, I can see all different kinds on here. And it lasts us about the entire year. So because this is a Sagittarius, I'm going to carve the Sagittarius sign into our candle. Next, we like to take correspondences that go along with the sign. And what we are working with today, see if I can get this on camera, there we go. This is all things that are very important to Sagittarius. We have basil, we have saffron, we have dried sage. And the other thing I'm going to be working with is borage oil. Okay, borage oil it comes from starflower. Okay, and it has such a distinct, beautiful smell. Actually, everything on this plate has a very strong, distinct smells for the most part. And what they do is really calls in hope, the hope of the star, and they are strong, it's strength. And I really thought that borage oil was really something beautiful that had that fire energy that went along with our Sagittarius. So, it smells so good.
I was actually able to grab most of what we're using for Sagittarius from my garden.
I love that. Candice actually has a fantastic garden there that has all kinds of things that we use all the time in most of our ceremonies, I would say.
Yeah, I've even elevated the garden. It is very, it's in a very special state.
I love it.
This summer is going to be a very big one for my garden.
And both physically and spiritually.
Yes. In all the ways. When I speak of the garden, when I speak of the garden, I am not just speaking of my literal bushes.
All right, Candice, let's see our sigil.
All right.
What I'll do is I'm going to feature you here. There we go.
Okay. So it is. Well, I have so much like wax and different things falling out of my book, but
oh, beautiful.
There we go. Oh, sorry. Can you see it? There we are.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. So we'll post that on our Instagram.
There she be, all her glory.
I absolutely love
it. I felt it was very, very Sagittarius.
Yeah. All right. So, Candice, do you mind now? I'm going to actually take our key here. This is called a crystal key. And I'm going to turn that a few times over our honey pot before I seal it on up. And while we do that, do you have any sound tools available maybe?
Yeah, I have my Tibetan bowl here. I'm just playing with fire. Let me put that away. I can play some of that. While you do it, I'm going to take my rings off. And don't have any sound equipment set up, so I hope that it translates.
Yeah, probably play it really soft.
Oh, I shall. I have a young child sleeping down the hall, around the bend of our home.
All right, so focusing your energy, staring right into our honey pot here, focusing it all in. Beautiful. It actually translates very beautifully over on your microphone. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad.
I just absolutely love the way my hands smell with the basil and the borage oil, and
Mm-hmm.
so good.
Yeah, I lit my cauldron up, got that burning, all the herbs in it.
All the herbs in all the land.
That's right.
All right. I think it's time for a little bit of tarot.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this also after today.
Yeah, let's see what messages are going to come through. I'm just changing our setup here just a little bit, guys, so that we have space for everything here. All right. So, for some of you, this may be your first time seeing some of these Angel symbols that we're working with here. All of these symbols on here have different energy streams that are going to be tied to a different type of intention, a different type of, let's say, place where you are. What I want you guys to do is to take a deep breath, and I want you to focus in on one of these symbols. Which one really resonates with you? Just take a moment, breathing deep. As we do this, I'll just explain a little bit of our setup. I have these clear quartz generators on the grid here, and each of them, if you, like for example, if I was working with this Angel here, the clear quartz has that Angel symbol on it, calling in that energy with it. Underneath it, I have 2 tarot cards that one is going to be about where you're at, and then one will be about either what you have to release or where you're going or some sort of future that comes along with it, a future message as we work forward. And I'm asking for this current cycle as we move forward. Okay? So I hope everyone has one of their Angel symbols on there. I'm going to dive right on in here. I love me some tarot. Get excited. Maybe before we do this, Candice, little cheers.
Cheers. Some moon water cheers.
Moon water cheers, baby. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the one that is closest to the east in my house, which is this symbol here. So if this is the symbol that you have chosen, if this is the one that you are working with health. You're looking at the health symbol, your Angel symbol. Now, your health, if you look at it, this symbol actually comes from the rod of Eclipse, you know, like this 2 snakes going around it's like the modern symbol for modern medicine, right? This is where this generates itself from. So let's see if this is what the card that you were most pulled to. Let's see what came through for you. Interesting. So your first card is the 9 of Swords. All right, 9 of Swords. This is all, usually when this card comes up in a reading, the first thing I ask is, are you sleeping? Right? How is your night times? Now, if you think about your life, you sleep for half of the day, right? You are asleep for almost 12, like 9 hours, however long you sleep, and we spend our life that way. It is a large part of our human health. So how are you sleeping? Okay? A lot of the time, this can have to do with nightmares. It can be with uneasiness. It could be those thoughts that keep you awake at night before you go to sleep. Very interesting card when it comes to health, I would say. As you move forward, your card is the Knight of Wands. Now, this is a very awesome card when you juxtapose it with our 9 of Swords. Look at this woman. What do you see when you look at this Knight of Wands? She is free. She dances to her own drumbeat. This card asks you to be a little bit more impulsive. Take risks. You need to get outside of your comfort zone. Maybe over the course of the last year, you've been so worried about health and this universal consciousness of fear that comes along with the pandemic. Maybe it's time that you look at these things and open yourself more. Think about where you can be versus where we currently are. And you will be able to dance to your own drum sooner rather than later. When you look at this card, Do you have any thoughts about what is holding you back? Why couldn't you play your own drum? Sit in that thought process and see what's holding you back. And I encourage you to release that tonight on this full moon. So that was our health. Next, if this is your symbol that you chose, which is the one that I chose, this one is your creation. All right, what are you creating? All right, I mean, I just love these cards. I love this whole system. They're so beautiful. Let's see what comes up for creation. Well, this has already come up during our talk so far today, so I love that. This is the Eight of Cups. This is that woman taking her last cup and sending it downstream. She walks away because it is time to leave some old belief systems behind. There are some things you can't take with you. Just because they got you to where you are doesn't mean that they're the systems that you need for where you're going. Whew. There she is, Candice.
Okay.
All right, and your future and advice card as you move forward. If you've been in my readings before, this is one of my favorite cards to always pull, the Magician. The Magician reminds us that we already have everything we need in our power. I want you to take a deep breath and look at this card if this is what you had chosen. What is it that you believe that you don't have? Because this card is here to remind you that you have it all. It is just within yourself to discover. So on tonight's full moon, I encourage you to ask yourself what blocks are there and where does that power live within yourself so that you can move forward to your most optimal timeline. Kind of loving that one.
What a great card to get after the 8, the one before it.
It's one of the most beautiful, I would say, out of it's a great combination. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Is this the symbol that you have chosen? This is your Angela Faux symbol for love. All right, who out there is working on love, looking for love, doing the love thing?
I'm good, you know.
Okay. Okay. So the card that we got here, this to me is like one of my fave cards. Okay. The Empress. We got Mother Gaia in love. If anyone out there is looking for love right now, it is coming to you in full swing. This is the love time. There may even be some pregnant people out there right there. Okay. This is the woman of spirituality. This is the woman who is the master of creation. Everything in this world has been created through, with, of, by, and for Mother Earth. And this card is where you are at right now. So, in order to get there, the card that we have pulled is the Fool. So this is 2 major arcana cards. This is pretty intense. This is a lot of strong energy that we've got. So the Fool, again, Fool is such a strong, powerful card to me. And I love the depiction in this deck. I have to give a big shout out to the Light Seekers Tarot because I really do love this deck. I love the imagery. I love that it's inclusive. They use different colors and ethnicities and cultural backgrounds and even sexualities, and the symbols are still very close to the original imagery, so I really love it for that. But as you can see, the Fool trusts in the universe. She is falling off that cliff without knowing what that is down there, but we know that that is sacred geometry. There is magic in this world that is there to help her. All right, she is gonna be okay. And if you notice, she only has very few things on her. It doesn't take a lot to change your life. this card asks you if you want to be that empress, if you want to have that perfect love, if that is what we're searching for here, you are going to have to take some risks and maybe do something that is a little bit different than you may have done before. So ask this full moon what risks you need to take in order to move forward. Love that. Next. Bam. Which one of you chose this one? This is a pretty powerful one. This is closing. Okay, closing. Closing is used in terms of releasing, of letting go emotions. All right, so what are we letting go here? That's what we're asking as we look at this card. Let's see. Oh my God, Candice, you'll never guess what this is. So, closing, the card that we pull is the Death card.
Oh my God.
Right? That's like literally the card that could have been.
Yeah. The only card that you need pulled for this.
This is whatever you're closing, it's time to close it. Okay, this card.
Yeah.
What I love again about this deck in particular is that death. Sometimes when you're reading tarot and the Death card comes up, everyone goes, "Oh, I'm gonna die," and it's like this scary, horrible card. The Death card is a fantastic card because it shows cycles. Because after every death is a rebirth. And I love that this deck actually even has like a lemon sket, the infinity sign, with rebirth written on it. I love that about its imagery. So if you are looking at closing something in your life, if this was the symbol that you chose, close it up now. It couldn't be more obvious already. It couldn't be more obvious.
Very literal.
Yeah, right? It's done. Why are we hanging
That's
on?
a wrap.
Well, if you're closing it up and you are afraid of closing it up, this is the advice that we have for it. Again, super powerful card. We have the Ace of Wands. So, yeah, whatever is holding you back, whatever this closing is, whatever this death is, this rebirth, right on the other side of it is the greatest spark of your creation. It is that thing that you have waited to do your entire life, and it is just beyond. It is the rebirth after that death. If I was giving a one-on-one reading right now, and these are the cards that I pulled, I would say whatever it is, make the change tomorrow because this is the thing that you're waiting for. Whew, that's some powerful stuff there.
Rebirth of your passion, of everything. That's amazing.
Love it. Yeah. Okay, last one. Bam. If this is the symbol that you chose, this is the anchor of the Angel FO symbols. This is the transformation card. I absolutely love this one. This is probably one of the symbols that almost every time we do this, I always get pulled to pick this one, but it was my second choice tonight, not my first. So let's see what we're pulling. Interesting. So the Three of Wands. All right. Now, Three of Wands has a very clear message in my mind. It is about process. It is, you have already started the work. You have put things into motion. And now we're at this place where we are just waiting. She is looking off. She is already not the person that she was if this was maybe the ace or the two. She's already established. She's already got her thing on the go. But she's in this process of waiting. This card reminds us that as we're looking yonder, as we're watching our ships go out to sea, that this is something that we had once wished for, right? This is you're already in a place that you wish you were. And sometimes you need to look and see that. You need that sort of slap to say, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I wanted. Maybe it's just going to take a little more time. So this is a really beautiful thing. Sometimes this card could also mean travel for some people. So if you're out there and thinking of travel and you're looking out to sea, this card could also be an omen for that. All right. So your advice as you move forward. Woo, awesome. Nine of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. This is like the happiness fulfilled card.
No.
This is such a gorgeous card. And actually, I love this art here. It's just so beautiful. I love it. This is basically if like sure that maybe the 10 is a more abundant card. This card is a sign of personal happiness. It's of pride. It's of like using what you have created, and you're like looking around and you get to be successful based on what you have done. I like to think of this as a really personal freedom card, like a personal success card versus the 10, which is like the abundance and the money. This is like a you have done it and you are doing well. Right? This is happy, abundant, prosperous, but it's more ringing in that personal, true place. So if this is that outcome after your waiting card and you're waiting and this is coming, let the process work for you guys. I encourage you to ask for patience during this full moon if this is your symbol that you chose, because this is just around the corner. Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some strong messages tonight. Candice, is there anything that you would like to add to any of these?
No, I mean, well, which one what was your first choice? What did you choose tonight?
My first choice was over here with creation tonight, the 8 of Cups and walking away, and then the Magician. It's still all there. And then my second choice was transformation, this like process, letting it happen. What about you?
Mine was the transformation one was first, and then creation. Well, I mean, they were both there. It was interesting, but I felt like, I mean, I was just taking all the cards as my own personal reading in all ways. But it was interesting because a lot of them were just like, if you just do this, this is here.
Yeah.
Or if you just take a look around, you have the things that you want. And once you get that, it's like you will have all of the other things that you want. So, I mean, that was what, in a general sense, I got from it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah. I am super happy with all the things that we just pulled. That was extremely beautiful so far. I'm loving it. So I guess all that is left here, we've done our candle, we've done our honey pot, we've done our tarot. Girl, I think we're good to close this circle. What do you say?
I say let's close her up and rise tomorrow with the sun as the phoenix.
Let's do it. Phoenix energy. We want to thank all of our guides and guardians from all energy streams for being here tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Closing our circle. I do love me a little bit of ceremony. It's really grounding, isn't it?
Always.
All right, so I guess a few little announcements before we finish on up. Candice and I have been doing we've had a really great time all month doing our moon signs, and that's going to continue for the month of June for the most part. We have our Earth moon signs that's coming on up, and we're going to be doing the rest of our goddesses. So we have our full moon goddesses that'll be coming out this month as well. We have our Gemini video being released soon. We have our Cancer video later in June coming out. And we'll have our new moon and our full moon. So we have all kinds of things with Arcana as we move forward. Another thing that's going to be coming in June is we're going to be going live fairly often, doing some tarot readings per day. This was a little taste about how it's all going to go. We won't be doing such a full elaborate reading. Sometimes it might just be an angel card, it might just be a sound bowl treatment, and it might be a little bit of tarot. So over the course of the month, be sure to come back to our Facebook, leave some comments. Let us know which Angel FO symbol that you chose. Before I forget, I want to just give a big shout out to Sage Goddess and Athena Parakis and her whole team, Alexis, Claire, Hannah, love you guys. The Angela Faux symbols that you see on these pillars, I did get from her, and I've been a student for her for a long time now. I love this methodology. If you're interested in working with any of this, please head on over to see her at Sage Goddess. Candice, what are you going to do when you wake up first thing in the morning to feel fresh and renewed like that?
First thing I'm going to do, like the phoenix that I am to become in the morning, I'm going to rip open those blankets and fan kick my legs out of the bed. No, I might. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kiss my beautiful daughter. I'm going to drink a big glass of water, and I'm going to stand out in my garden and look at my plants and take a moment to be grateful. Take a moment to remind myself to see me the way the people I love the most see me every single day. That's what I'm going to do when I wake up in the morning. What are you going to do, Stephen, when you wake up in the morning with your phoenix from the ashes energy?
I am going to wake up tomorrow morning and put on like my favorite dance song right now, and I'm going to sweat first thing out the gate, and then I'm going to walk out into my garden and put my feet on the earth. Those are the things I'm going to do tomorrow. I feel like I have enough of this like air energy right now. I feel like I've spent a whole like cycle in the water for the last little while, so I'm gonna get a little more fire in me again by getting all spunky, but I'm gonna keep earthing. I feel like earthing is still a big practice for me right now, so that I don't just uproot my life and run away.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
yeah, I'm going to try not to burn my life down.
So one more time.
Run away and hide.
And make sure you head on over to arcanamindbodyspirit.com. We also have our YouTube channel where all of our videos come out, which of course is Arcana Mind Body Spirit. If you're interested in doing any of our natal chart journeys, our online personal tarot readings that we have, if you're interested in any online Reiki, we have spiritual life path coaching, we have crystal healing sessions available. Head on over to our website and see what's available. We're actually setting up our Facebook store and our Instagram store a little bit later. So we will have that all ready and available to you guys very soon. I guess that's it.
That's a wrap. On the moon with 100 names.
100 name moon. All right. How about one more howl to finish on out, Candice?
Alrighty.
3, 2, 1. Namaste, Soul Circle.
Namaste. Much love. Mwah.